Okay, welcome to Tuesday Night U Crew Training. My name is Shanna Kurtz. I'm a Ruby in the company. I'm from South Texas. I'm not going to go into my full story. If you're going to go to Women of Vision, you're going to get the most I've ever shared about my story and my cancer battle and mindset and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to go into a ton of that here. I've been with Viseo about 2 years. I'm 4 years in the industry. I love Viseo for all the reasons that we just heard. And so I'm going to jump right into my training because I want to honor your time and I want to leave you with some stuff. So if y'all know me, y'all know I'm really big about mindset, but I'm also really big about skills. I wanted to give you something tonight that it's so funny because y'all, if anybody heard my topic, it's about how to be more coachable. and what did Daniel just say you could do for free? You can be more coachable. And so who's excited about being more coachable? Is there anybody that besides me that struggles with that? So here, let me just first say, you're not learning this from somebody who's naturally coachable. If you don't believe me, ask Ricky. He's going to tell you I'm the most uncoachable person he's ever met. Right? Like, and here's why that's great. I love y'all. If you can turn your camera on, you need to turn your camera on because I like faces. I see Tanya Valentine. I see Amber Neely. Who do I see over here? Anyways, I'm give me some faces. Give me some faces. Okay, so don't you want to learn this from somebody else that struggles? Like, look, if this was my natural, easy for me, could I really teach you that? Could I really coach on it? Could I really speak about it? No. So just know that I'm not giving you something that I haven't truly walked out and continue walking out and all that. Does that sound good, guys? Okay. I want you to grab a pen and paper. And Candace Ramsdale, I saw you just fly through that chat and share it in the screen. Those of you who have your computer in front of you, I want you to be ready to, Lauren is laughing at me. So that's my sponsor. She also finds me uncoachable at times. I want you to be ready to drop some stuff in the chat. Okay. So can y'all hear me okay? This is acting a little funky. Y'all are hearing me, seeing me, all good stuff. Okay, I've got somebody that needs to be muted. Okay, you hear me? It's hitting funny. Okay. Sorry, train of thought. When it starts bumping in at you, you're like, no. I see Alex. No, it's being really funny. Okay. It's just, I don't know how to make it stop unmuting people. So, okay. So getting right into it. Who wants to be more coachable? Let's be more coachable. I was going to tell you, Candace, y'all be ready to write stuff in the chat, right? Like, so I'm going to give you stuff. I talk really fast. This is recorded. You can catch it on the replay. And so here we go. Why do you want to be more coachable? Like, why is this a thing? Y'all, everybody in network marketing says that if you have 3 things, you can go really far in network marketing, right? What are the 3 things? Beat me to it. Get to that chat. What are the 3 things that if you can be these 3 things, you can find success here, right? It is be willing, coachable, and hungry. Willing, coachable, and hungry. Willing, coachable. Anybody willing? Anybody willing to work to make their dreams happen? Ooh. Can y'all hear me okay? Somebody just try to sign into UCrew. Maybe why I'm having some issues. Somebody's joining in. Okay, so willing, coachable, and hungry. You're willing. Coachable is a thing that I think that we can work on. You know, when it comes to you're hungry, that's why. That's like, I'm not just, but that's the big why. So these are the 3 parts. Who would like to be more coachable? I know I would. This is something that we can implement, that you can actually put some things in. And I see people saying yes and waving. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to tell you, Coachability is about, and I have my notes, y'all, because this is my first time I'm teaching on this. So just so you know, I'm doing Eric Worre's accelerator program. So you're getting a training that I pay about $1,000 a month for. So seriously, take some notes. This is going to be good stuff, but give me a little grace. It's my first time teaching it. Here's the exciting thing for you. Have y'all realized that the person who speaks makes the most money in Viseo? Okay. That means that your goal should be presenting in some capacity in baby steps, right? So when you see me up here teaching for the first time off my notes and I jack it up, I want you to get excited because there's room for you to get up here. And maybe it doesn't start with the U crew. Maybe you learn, go through Connect Call training first, and that's how you're doing it, or, but you're going to get baby steps. And so give me grace because you're going to have grace too. Okay. So coachability, implementation, belief, these are all things that we need to work on right from the get-go. Now here's the skills, and I want you to write this down, drop them in the chat. There are 8 areas that you should always be growing your skills. Okay. They are: number 1, finding prospects. These are important because these are going to show you the areas that you need to grow, and your mentor needs to know these areas. Y'all need to be in conversation about them. Number 2, inviting prospects. Number 3, presenting. Y'all, that may be presenting using a third-party tool over lunch with a friend. Maybe presenting by sending a video. Eventually, after you do enough Connect calls and you learn how to present too, you may be presenting. So number 3 is presenting to different levels. Number 4, follow-up. Number 5, closing. Number 6, getting people started. Number 7, promoting events. And number 8 is leadership. These are the 8 areas that everything that you do should link back to these, which I was like, wait, coachability is not one of the 8 things, but I really do think it's the foundation. Like, if you can't listen and implement, what are you going to do with these? What are you going to do? Right? So we're going to talk about these first, coachability. It's the fundamentals. So I'm my story, just so y'all know, when I started with Viseo, I'm going to give you a little bit of quick background. I had already been with another company, and when I found it, I was not coachable. I thought, anybody else feel like this? I thought, well, network marketing has never had Shanna before. They've never had somebody with a cancer survivor story. They haven't had somebody who ran her own business. I honestly had so much ego, and I thought that, man, nobody had showed up with my ideas and the things that I was going to do. And so I really felt like I was going to do anybody else do this? When y'all showed up, bring your skills and be like, ain't nobody seen a nurse like me. Ain't nobody seen, right? Here's what happened. I went and I did the Viseo vomit, except it wasn't Viseo, but I vomited on everybody. And here's the thing, with my cancer story and my expertise in business, did I get a bunch of people to join? Yes. Hit the big emerald rank on week 3. It was great, $5,000 a month. And then guess what happened? Do you think that duplicated? Nope. I did everything wrong. I didn't listen. I did everything wrong. And my paycheck disappeared. In 6 months, I was making $1,000 a month. Y'all, that is not what residual income should look like. Okay. Peaks and valleys. Yes. But absolute opposite direction. No. And so fast forward, I come to Viseo. You'd think I would have learned that ego lesson, right? No, I didn't. I showed up here. Same thing. Man, I already had success in my last company. So yeah, Ricky, I see your system. Yeah, I'm gonna take my own calls. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna let all my family and friends hear about it from me. I'm gonna give them all the details. And I made $20, and then I made $40 and $80. And I'm watching my friends, a lot of DWB came at the same time. I'm watching my friends win like cruises and stuff, earn cruises. And I was like, oh, that's not what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong? And Ricky gets me on the phone, and I'll be honest with you. And he knows this about me. I'm the kind of personality that you give me too many steps and I'm like shut down. And so when I saw the U-Crew system, I was so excited that there were step by step, but I was so afraid to do it wrong. I was afraid that I was going to get my leader on in not the right order with my prospect, or maybe I was going to send the video wrong, or it was going to work. And I was so caught up, instead of just doing the thing and figuring it out, I was so caught up in my head about doing it wrong. I just didn't do it. And finally, Ricky called and he's like, Shanna, just get me on the phone with people. That's it. Just get me on the phone with people. And I did. And y'all, the next week I made $4,200. And here's the thing. That's not, I know sometimes we say your leaders are going to show up and do a lot of the work. Look, that's not, Ricky didn't do it for me. I sat there the whole time with a pen and paper taking notes. That is where I learned. That's where I learned how to deal with objections. That's how I learned how to honor people on a phone call. That's how I learned to really listen to where people are at and find what their needs and goals were, and line it up with the opportunity that Viseo has. That was the foundation of my business, right? If I would have skipped that part, I mean, like the reason he wanted me to do it that way was so that I could get the foundation of being a leader and learn all the things that I needed to succeed here, right? So just know that's my story, right? Like, and here's the thing, did it turn around and I became more coachable? Yes, because all it took was a $4,200 paycheck for me to go like, I'll do it your way. I'll do it your way. That's cool. I'll do it your way, right? But then I go through seasons of uncoachability too, right? Like I go through seasons where I think that I'm doing it right. So here's how I want you to know. So the first thing is if you need to get better at being coachable, you got to know when you're not being coachable. Does anybody know some of those red flags? Y'all totally hang out in the chat because I've got it pulled up. I want to be right there with you. I'm going to back up. I'm going to give you, I want you to know why you want to be more coachable. And we'll circle back to this at the end, but there's something I learned through Eric Royce training about the 1-3-5-7. Those of you who've heard it before, y'all get excited when you see the 1-3-5-7, right? So the 1-3-5-7 is you should expect to show up consistently. And after 1 year of consistent work, you should be able to have a profitable business. I didn't say diamond. I didn't say millionaire. I said profitable business after 1 year. Does that seem reasonable for y'all guys? Because a lot of people open restaurants that aren't going to be profitable for 3 years. My flooring company didn't throw a profit on the first year. Like that's profitable after 1 year. Is that good? Anybody happy with profitable after 1 year? And you get skills that you can carry over into the world. The 3 is 3 years to get replacement income. And this is just a guideline, not a guarantee. But I think so many times people show up and in month 3, they're not diamonds. And they're like, peace, I'm out. I didn't get rich. And I'm like, you don't have the skills for Viseo to pay you like that. Like you didn't invest in the skills, homeboy. No, hang out. 3 years, replacement income. 5 years, 6 figures. 7 years, world-class leader, and very likely a 7-figure income. Now, I'm not talking about people who sit on their hands for 7 years, right? I'm talking about doing the things and developing, and those skills that we talked about, those 8 areas, you invest in them. Like if you become an expert in those 8 areas, what kind of business do you think you can have? Right? Okay. Just want you to know what you're in this for, right? Okay. I was going to insert a squirrel story here, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into that. I just want you to know that a lot of times when you get started and you know how your leaders are like, hey, don't say too much, use your third-party tools. We like say it to the point that you're probably like, oh my gosh, do I really own my own business? And I think about my baby squirrels who are born really high up in a tree and I rehab squirrels. So that's where this is coming from. And so I've got these 4 baby squirrels. They're born natural into a tree. Y'all, they're born from the day that they're born, they're elevated. Did they do the work to get into that elevated nest? No, just like you and your little network marketing business. Yes, you are a business owner, but you didn't do the things yet. Just like that squirrel is a squirrel, but its eyes aren't open and its ears aren't open and it can't do squirrely things yet. It has to trust the person in the nest with it. Okay, can y'all be baby squirrels? Can we be baby squirrels and until our eyes open and our ears really open, can we trust our leader to really give us what we need so that at 12 weeks, a baby squirrel will leave its nest? 12 weeks. Do you think that's a good analogy for a new network marketer too? 12 weeks to don't get with the other baby squirrels in the nest. I see this happen too, where you get with your sponsor and your sponsor hasn't made more than $50 and y'all decided you're going to have these business meetings and y'all are going to think about all these things and plan all these great ideas and do all these things. And I'm like, you little blind baby squirrels leading blind baby squirrels, y'all better not be starting to jump from limb to limb. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. Right? And so here's what I want you to know. It's a season. It's a season. There is going to be a time that you're not pointing to the leader, you're the leader being pointed to. And the sooner that you can watch your leaders do it and you can take notes and you can try it with them watching and raise up to be a leader yourself, that's when you really get to make the magic happen. Who wants to be a leader on here? Who wants to be a leader? Right? Who wants to cheer people on and encourage them and inspire them? And there's nothing better than when I see potential in a team member and I get to speak it into her life or his life before he sees it. There is some really great, wonderful things about being a leader, but you got to do the work. You got to let those ears and eyes open before you can go jumping from limb to limb. Okay. It's a season. A season to be nurtured, coached, mentor. Okay. So you're going to trust your leader. Here's how you know that you have some room to improve. Number one, you aren't working with a mentor. Okay. Right. So if you're not working with somebody, and I'm not like, if your sponsor is a 6 or 7 figure earner, do your thing. You're fine. But if you are brand new and you don't have somebody like that you're working with, you need to find one. You need to go above, like, this is not to hurt your sponsors. This is not, sponsors don't get your feelings hurt. Are any of you going to get your feelings hurt if somebody more capable than you, more experience than you, trains your person and they turn out to be a rock star and you get paid on it? No, you're not. You better be pushing them towards your mentor, being like, here, train them up. So a lot of times, Lauren Richards says this. I see Amber Neely in here. Lauren says the people who bother her the most are the people who make the most money. You know who was bothering us the most 2 years ago, right after Women of Vision? Amber Neely. You know who's a Ruby in the company? Same rank as me. 6-figure earner, making crazy checks, leading a crazy big team, raising up other leaders, Stephanie Young. I mean, like, come on, go bother your leaders. This is not the kind of place that you don't want to bother your leaders. So if you're living in that, that's the first thing you got to get over. You've got to get a mentor and start getting assignments from them, which we're going to come back to. Number 2, here's another way. When your leader is telling you something, and you go in to explain why you're doing it your way. Y'all, anybody else do that? Just me? Just me? Yeah, that's another sign that you're not listening, because the explanation is the excuse, right? The explanation is the excuse. And so, you know, I've been in Ricky and Francoise, I've been at their house where I catch myself interrupting Ricky. Now, y'all, he's my friend too, but there's times when he's coaching me that I have my phone on record. The fact that I'm in a coaching session with a free 7-figure earner and I'm interrupting them is crazy. But I'm trying to explain why I did it wrong, you know? No, girl, just sit there and go like, you know, and like maybe even take it further. Y'all, the conversation is the business. You understand that with your prospects, right? You understand that the conversation is your business, right? I want to see some head nods. Yes. Same thing with your leaders. Your conversation with them are the things that keep you moving. That's right. If you're not in conversation and articulating things. So maybe I should have said, and I've done this. Okay, Ricky, sometimes I don't see it the way y'all see it. So will you tell me if I were doing that correctly, what would that look like? How do you see me doing that well? How do you, what's the one thing that you can see me implementing in that right now? Open the conversation so that your leader isn't just, you know what I mean? Make it easier for them to give, to be in conversation with you. Is this helpful? Okay, good. Number 3, if they ask you to do something, obviously do it. But here's the thing. Does everybody listen? Did y'all hear? I don't know his name because I was on and off the call, but he talked about how people won't respond to him or something like that. And that's not the advice I'm gonna give you. And I haven't been as successful as him, but I'm going to give you Eric Worre's version, which is not that. But if somebody doesn't do something, okay, the mistake that I made, and if y'all join my team in the first year, or if some of you are actually from a previous company with me, I need to apologize, because I thought that if I said, hey, Vicki, I need you to go watch the U-Crew training, and I need you to make a list of 100 people, and I need you to meet me on Zoom tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And if Vicki says the next morning, hey, I need to reschedule, something came up, I probably would have said, Vicki's uncoachable. Moving on. Vicki's uncoachable. Is she really uncoachable? No, she probably got scared. Y'all, you realize you're in this business to bump up against people's fear and doubt and help them get to the other side. So you've got to find that, right? So for some people, making a list of 100 people and meeting on Zoom is no big deal, and they're going to be on. That's awesome. But some people aren't going to be able to start there. Look, I have a childhood that comes with a lot of baggage and limiting belief, and I've got to work through that. Like, I'm jealous of people that don't have the baggage that I have. So I'm like, maybe starting from a little bit of a deficit. You got to give me some room to work up to my level, right? So maybe I say, instead of writing Vicky off, I'm going to say, hey, let's regroup. Let's actually start with your best friend. Let's just get your best friend on the phone, ask her if she'll do a practice call with you. It's just training for you, no pressure for her in. Could you do that? And when do you think you could get that done? Do you see how that adjusts? And maybe this is something that she won't be as fearful of, right? So here's the part that I want you to know. If they tell you to do something and you don't do it, your responsibility is to tell them why. And if you can't articulate it, tell them that. Right? So maybe you're saying, hey, Amber, yeah, I'm not ready to do that launch Zoom. I'm so sorry, something came up. Instead of saying that, I want you to be like, and I know everybody, y'all that are here, like, this is stuff that, like, y'all know, I hope to communicate with people like this. Like, and I want you to learn this so you teach it to your team too, right? Like, we want to be able to have these conversations and say, how we can grow in those areas. Sorry, I'm checking my notes because I want to go through this. I want to honor your time. Okay, so you're going to communicate. I wanted to say, your mentor and leader is not your accountability partner. These are not the same things. You hear me? Let me say that again. Your mentor is meant to grow you and push you. They are not your accountability partner. So if your mentor asks you to do something and you don't do it, and you're like, well, I'm not going to reach out to her because she told me to call her when I got my list of 50 people, and I don't have a list of 50 people. So I guess I'm just not going to call her. And so I'll just kind of like back out. And then you like, y'all, that doesn't work, right? So we have got to practice open lines of communication, because your mentor can't read your mind. And she's not your accountability partner. He's not your accountability partner. This is your business, and you need to show up and say, hey, ooh, that one for some reason was really hard for me. Can we adjust that? Like, I'm not ready for that. Can we adjust that? Let's try that again in a couple weeks. Okay. But you've got to be a part of it. Do y'all feel more empowered on how you can work with your leaders? Okay. Number 4, we're looking for ways that you need to work on coachability. Number 4, what's important to your leader is not important to you. Okay. I'm gonna use a perfect example. These trainings are one, right? Like, I have anybody have team that's not on here that you just can't get to show up to the trainings? It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. This is the fire. This is the thing where people get a lot of their needs met, right? I'm going to tell you something else from Eric Worre. When people get started, your goal is to build their belief really quickly before their doubt grows. So their excitement and belief are high, and doubt, you want to get them before the growth. So what I'm showing you is an over the line. There are things that you can do that gets them to stay longer, right? What are some things that you think get them to stay longer? Obviously, a paycheck. The statistic is, if you sign somebody up and in 6 months they've made $0, your retention is 20%. If you sign somebody up and they make $1 or more in 6 months, it's 74% retention. So yes, obviously a paycheck is what you want to go for, right? But there's other things. I want you to listen. I want you to write these down. I'm going to go through once, so y'all type and fly. These are things that if people get, they're more likely to stay. Wins, that could be paychecks. Support. Think about our sweet yellows that need community. If they see that there's people here to support them, friends, like-minded people, maybe they're surrounded by people who aren't into natural health and entrepreneurship, friends, customers, getting them that customer and that 30% paycheck, a product experience. Y'all do not underestimate for their first assignment to be like, hey, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. What I want you to do is take the products consistently for a week. I want you to pay close attention for what it does for you. And then let's talk, because that testimony is going to be the foundation of your business. Is there anybody on your team that can't do that? Regardless of how how quick they want to move. Recognition. I'm going to circle back to this one. Just a new brand partner. Events, getting people on events gets them to stay longer. Proclaiming their dreams. Okay. Personal growth, skill set, training, fun, and belief. Do you see how getting them on a Tuesday night training checks a lot of those boxes? So if you're somebody like, y'all know I teach on color personalities. If you're a red, you may not see the value of you may be like, oh, I know who I'm talking to this week. I don't need to plug in. But if you don't, your team don't. And guess what? If you're a red, you attract a long line of yellows. And guess what your yellows need? They need community. They need heart. They need to see what we're about. Right? So if you're red, you best be on the training so that your team follows suit. Is this helpful? Yeah? Okay. I want to tell you a story. When I got started, another Shanna isn't coachable story. Have y'all had enough of these yet? Okay. So when I got started, y'all, DWB, we have our own Facebook group, Lauren's a diamond now, but back then we were supposed to welcome in U-Crew any new brand partners. And I'd never done this before and I didn't understand it. And Ricky's like, Shanna, you have to take a picture. You have to welcome them in the group. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't have time. We're moving really fast. I don't have time. Okay. If I had taken their photo and welcomed them on U-Crew, and said, and y'all, Ricky does this so good. Hey, I just signed up Amber Neely. She came in on a pro pack and she's got some big dreams for her family. She wants to retire her husband. She wants to stay home and make breakfast with her kid every day. This is the first step to her going after her dreams. Woo, I got chills. I'm not even Amber Neely. Y'all, what would that have done when she saw that and everybody goes in and cheers her on? How many, y'all, proclaiming her dreams for her out and out on social media in our sweet group. I'm sorry, I'm yelling at y'all. This is not a spanking. This should fire y'all up. This is not a spanking. I am not spanking anybody. I think knowing where we have areas to grow is super powerful. Okay, so another Shanna uncoachable story. Okay, another place that we need to, that if it's important to your leader, it should be important to you, process and systems. And that's a perfect example. When your leader says, welcome people in the group, welcome them in the group, even if you don't understand why, okay? If your leader says, put them on a phone call, do it until you understand why. Eventually you will. It won't be crazy. Eventually you'll be there and you're like, oh, there's a million reasons to do it that way. It makes sense now. Great. Okay, trainings goes without saying. If you have a personally sponsored person, you should reach out to them and remind them of the training every week for 6 weeks. That's your sponsorability. Thanks, Lauren. Sponsorability. They don't have the habit yet. They don't feel a part of the community yet. It's your job to remind them, hey, I'm going to see you on there. Can't wait. Okay. Events. I think a lot of times we assume, oh, well, they see the event. So if she wants to go, she'll go. Y'all, your people can buy products from anybody. They joined with you because they trust you and they want to be in relationship with you and a million reasons. Like it's the business of trust is what we're in. Okay. And so how else can you build that? How else can you, like, if you're not inviting me, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, maybe she doesn't want me there. Like personally reach out to every person you've personally sponsored women and ask them if they want to join you. Y'all, it's not even a whole weekend. It's like an evening and a day. It's totally doable. I know some teams are gathering in person. You want to get as many team there. If you can get your team there, how many of them do you think are going to have their cups filled up? Raise your hand if you're at Women of Vision and cried your butt off, came back, moved, inspired, spoken into, filled up. Like, y'all, this is not like women, we do things differently, right? We are authentic. We are transparent. We share all the things and we hold each other up. It's going to be so good. You do not want to miss this. Your soul needs this. Your heart needs this. Your Viseo business needs this. And I'm going to bet there are women in your life that absolutely are meant to hear some of the messages that are going to come through Women of Vision. Get your ticket. And I'm not doing another coaching call with a single person that doesn't have a ticket. Like, I'll be like, oh, peace out. Get your ticket and then we'll talk. This is for your team. You want to get people there. If it's important to your leader, there's a reason, and events are everything. Okay. for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through any more of those. The process is simply this. You need to take inventory of the areas where you need to grow. Did y'all find some tonight? Did y'all find some areas that you can improve your coachability? What if you improved any of those areas by 1%, 2%? What if you just got a little bit better? So I want to recap through those. So we're looking for, number one, are you working with a mentor? If you are not, you need to send a message tonight. You should have a group with at least your sponsor and one other leader. I want you to go into it and say, I would like to be working with you. I'd like to be mentored. I'd like to be working with you. Do you have openings? Number two, you're going to be coachable by listening and implementing and not interrupting, right? Not explaining your stance, right? So you're going to be more coachable by listening. Number three, if they ask you to do something and you don't, which we all get there, you're going to be responsible for the conversation that gets you another step. That's on you. You need to say, hey, we've already talked about that. I'm struggling with that. Can we revise this? Here's why. And if you don't know why, they'll help you. They're trained. Leaders have led a lot of people. Okay. Number four, what's important to your leader, you're going to make important to you. Okay. And you're going to trust them like that little baby squirrel. You're going to trust them that they know what's best for you. Okay. And then you're going to make adjustments, guys. You're going to identify, make adjustments. What do you think some of the payoffs would be, guys? Like, drop in the comments. What can you see here? What can you see in your business and in your team? What can you see? What can you see the benefits of this? And I want to circle back to, you need to leave here. All of this is for nothing except for your why. Like, this is not about getting any ranks or pins or even paychecks. Honestly, there's a reason behind the paycheck. So you just did an hour and a half of calls and trainings, and I want you to give me one thing in the comments. Here's what I'm going to ask of you. If you got anything of value in here, I want you to drop the biggest, hairiest goal, dream you have for your family in the comments. Because remember what we talked about? Proclaim your dreams. Proclaim your dreams, friend. Proclaim your dreams. Tell me. I'm going to print this chat out. I want to know, what is your dream? What is the thing? I love it. Freedom. Freedom for what? What does that mean? What does your day look like when you have freedom? Proclaim and show up to work every day. Retire my husband. Ooh, now we're going. $564,000 in the next 12 months. What for? What does that mean? What does that do for your family? How are you waking up? How are you sleeping? How are you taking care of your family? How are you taking care of your extended family? What are you doing for your church, your community? How are you being a game changer? How are you impacting the world? Don't just give me a number. Tell me what it does for the world, for the kingdom, for you, for your family. Trips, health. What does it feel like to be laying on that beach or in those mountains and know that all of your bills are paid and you're still making a paycheck regardless of what you do today or this week or this month? How bad do you want that? I want it really bad. How bad do you want that? Y'all, if you're I'm being super transparent, y'all, I got comfortable. Y'all, 6 figures through COVID is comfortable. Y'all paid off my house in the year of COVID. And it's like sitting there going like, well, I got everything I need. No, I don't want to have everything. I don't have everything I need because anybody else feel like they were called to this company? They were called to do bigger things than they've ever done before. And they keep getting confirmation that this is true for them. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not, right? So I have to honor that. And I have to get uncomfortable. God didn't call me to be comfortable. Gospel's not comfortable. No. So, okay, that's it. I think that's all. Generational wealth hasn't happened in your family. Mine neither. Let's go take it. It stops with me. What What else are we seeing? I see Amber laughing. What's going on? Massive travel, time spent where I choose it. I love this. Y'all are my fire. And here's the thing. If you can do this and speak this into other people's lives, man, you're change their world, because they don't speak their dreams. They don't speak their dreams enough. And if you do it and you give them permission to do it, it's a game changer. Game changer. Okay.
Shanna.
What's up?
Can you see me?
I can. You're in the van. You're in the fancy van.
So, you crew. Shanna brought it down like always. She's a huge blessing to this team. I wanted to think, but I also wanted to show you guys what's possible. If you look at this, I want to rewind 5 years ago when people laughed at me for to jump in the network marketing profession, owning a successful construction company. They thought I was crazy. But who is laughing now is what I want to say. Who is crazy now? I chased my dreams, and what I read in the comments, a lot of people had freedom. Everybody has their own version of freedom. But as this year transpired, or last year actually, a lot of things changed and shifted in people's worlds, right? With the pandemic. Heck, I got COVID with Shanna at my house, and Shanna and I about died. We became a lot closer through that experience. It was very scary. COVID is very real. But on the flip side of that, I started thinking about, hey, let's homeschool our kids. And I'm tired of stopping in the bathroom every 30 minutes. So now we get on the road this year, homeschool our kids. We're going to drive to Texas next week. We're going to see a lot of these people that is on this Zoom. But look what can happen in your life. And understand that I didn't know one person in this company. No one knew us. We have the same opportunity each and every one of you have now and will have going forward. All we did is go share this opportunity with everybody that we came in contact with. Just like Shanna says, we were ultra coachable. We were relentless. And this was on our dream board 5 years ago. Did it happen overnight? No. There was weeks where we'd make $200 and work 100 hours in this profession. Was it easy? No. But here's what I can tell you. I'm not going to keep you very much longer. This will probably be the hardest thing you ever do, but it'll be the best thing you ever do. Everything that Shanna said tonight to you is the truth, but you got to put it in action. And this is what's possible, that you can have whatever freedom that you see in this profession. And this is just another example. Just like you see Jared and Lauren, they're going to be getting on their motorhome in a week. If you listen to the people that speak into your life in this profession and put it in action, you can have all the freedom that you deserve. Okay, guys, love you. But I just wanted to show y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. I can't wait to see that in Texas. Can't wait to not use a public bathroom when I ride with y'all. Okay, guys, thank you for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Let's go improve our coachability and teach our team to do the same with adjustable assignments and all the stuff we talked about.